Hi guys, it's time for another watercolor weekend on the Art Impressions blog, so be sure to check them out on Saturday, the first and third Saturdays of every month. I saw a card with cactus and it said "We Stick Together" for the sentiment on it on Instagram, and I thought that would make a cute anniversary card for my son and daughter-in-law. So I'm using Bristol Smooth paper. It's more white than watercolor paper, so I prefer it. And it actually holds more water than the Tim Holtz Distress paper or Ranger watercolor paper. But it doesn't hold as much water as watercolor paper actually does. So I started by inking up the pots in the brown 969, then the blue 565 Tombow markers, and then I stamped it off on a piece of scratch paper, and then I stamped my Bristol paper. Then I took Post-it paper and used it to mask off my pots and filled each pot and beside each pot with cactuses, and I inked those in the 177 green. So now I'm pulling the color out of the lines, and I usually like to start at the top and work my way down. So I'm going to go to the plants here. That way I just don't put my hand in it. And so now I'm going to soften all of the cactuses with the damp brush. And we want to remember Bonnie's rules to leave white spots up at the top and in the center of rounded things. And it's really taking me a while to get that through my head to leave the white spots. I don't know if anybody else struggles with it like I do. I'm sure it goes back to what Bonnie always says, which is, you know, we were taught to color inside all the lines when we were kids, and it's just hard for me to get that out of my head and leave white areas. But it always looks better with the white areas. I always like it more. So I try to work on that. So I take a little bit of the 228, which is a real cactusy green, and I put it on my palette, and I'm going to color in my cactus a little, give them a little bit more color. So now I want to put some flowers on my cactus, and I use 606 green, purple, to place some flowers on the cactus. And you see I get out the pen and use the fine tip to add some more color in, because stamping one flower at a time is kind of hard to do and to get it dark enough. So I just use the fine tip end. And now I'm just blending it all together with a wet brush tip. Now I choose the pink 755 and another flower to stamp some pink cactus into my middle one here. So I take the 346 aqua color and I'm going to paint my middle pot here, being sure to leave that white spot in the center of the pot to make it look more round. I'll let it dry and then I'll go back with more color on the sides, and I'll do that a couple of times to build up the color. I use the 969 brown to color this pot. I decided on the 603 light lavender color and forgot to show it to you, sorry, for coloring this last pot. So now my blue pot's had some time to dry and I can go in and build up this color. And I'll build up the color on the brown pot, and then I'll build up the color on the purple pot. And here we go for round 3 of building up the color. So I got out the grass stamp and the N57, kind of a gray-green